Alright there you guys again, welcome to another one of my live videos. And now, as I updated you early on now, reports are now suggesting now currently the Catalans, currently the heavyweight giants now, Barcelona are currently in the current race for Kylian Mbappe's signature, the current 18-year-old. They are currently in the race alongside Manchester City and Real Madrid, and amongst the other teams that have been involved to getting his signature as well. It's currently now stemming from France that PSG are willing now, feeling those they are confident they can get Neymar on the board. They are very confident now, and that this means Barcelona can raise these funds, for sanctioning Neymar and use them funds to get the pursuit of Kylian Mbappe. And basically also French had reported that Barcelona could be emerged as the front runners in the current race now, basically to sign Kylian Mbappe, the current 18-year-old. We know Real Madrid have been in contact with Monaco and negotiating. We know Manchester City have been in contact and negotiating with Monaco. They negotiated back in April at Manchester City about getting on the board. But Monaco have been a team that's been hard to discuss with. Real Madrid have been hard with a team that's hard to discuss with. But yes, they're willing to basically cash out on anything. Whether it's the same amount of money that Real Madrid or Manchester City are willing to offer Kylian Mbappe, I do not know. It probably will be round about that. But if they raise these funds for Neymar, who's pretty adamant he does want to leave, it should be now come to a conclusion in the next couple of days what he's going to be doing. He's currently told his friends that he wants to leave Barcelona. Barcelona's still confident he will stay. The club president's still confident he will stay. He's been speculating now for the last week. Neymar hit form last season. He's been at Barcelona several years. He's hit form in the pre-season games, scoring 3 goals in 2 of the pre-season games. So he's still a very most efficient player for Barcelona. But are Barcelona risking to sell him? Because they've still got a lot of quality in that team. If they did lose Neymar, they've still got Messi. They've still got Suarez. You know, Messi, 54 goals, was it last season? They've still got Suarez in there. And if they can raise them funds, they can get Kylian Mbappe on the board as well. So that's going to be a potential replacement for Neymar, because I think Neymar is going to go. PSG are confident they can get him up now. Whether it's going to be involved in the Verratti deal, if it's going to, it basically been a change of scenery. They'd agreed a 5-year deal. It's been a change of scenery. Whether they're going to be paying the 220 million thing, what's going to be activated by PSG, or is Verratti going to be involved in the deal? He goes to Barcelona. Neymar goes to PSG, and they're looking to raise these funds basically to get Kylian Mbappe on the board. We know it's been stemming for ages now. Back before, we know teams, he'd have attracted a lot of interest. Teams, we've been in there. Liverpool, Arsenal have had bids being rejected for Mbappe. Monaco would, what were they doing now? They were taking illegal actions about this for certain teams going for their key players, such as Kylian Mbappe. But I think he's still pretty adamant that he does want to leave. He did say before the only team he would basically join would be Real Madrid. You know, I think it's a bit insanity judging one player after one season. He's a prolific goal scorer, hit form last season, appeared in his Champions League, was absolutely fantastic, and won the La Liga with Monaco, and he had fantastic players playing around him as well. But we know teams have been interested, but Barcelona now could capture him when they raise these funds for Neymar. The PSG owners have been in talks with Barcelona since it speculated last week. They've been in talks. The chairman's basically tried to get the deal finalised. There has been talks. I think there has been a few press conferences as well. There's people that have been involved in this. Ronaldo's basically persuaded him to either stay or come to Manchester United, which is not going to happen. Gerard Piqué's had a say on the matter. Cavani's had a say on the matter. People have had says on the matter. Barcelona are still confident that they'll keep him. Neymar's performances for Brazil are fantastic. You know, he's at a massive club. He's at one of the biggest clubs in the world with a fantastic fan base and a static stadium. But maybe time for him now to move on to go to PSG, who are probably the best team in France. They are willing to pay this money. I said Barcelona can possibly not reject this money, which is a staggering lots of money. And then they can benefit from this and get Kylian Mbappe on the board. May not happen, but we'll see. But Real Madrid have raised money this summer, 100 million something, offloading their players. Manchester City have spent over £200 million, spent over 100 million on fullbacks. Monaco maybe still resisted to sell Mbappe. I think Mbappe does want to leave. He's insisted he will go to Real Madrid because he is a Real Madrid fan, but he's insisted basically that he does want to leave. What's this? Insisted that he does want to leave the club, does Kylian Mbappe, but they're reluctant to sell him. It's not all about raising the money, it's about, you know, knowing what you're doing, keeping your best players. We know Monaco are a massive club. They delivered the goods last season, but they've lost Bakayoko, they've lost Silva, they've lost, you know, who else did they lose? Bernardo Silva, Bakayoko and Benjamin Mendy, and they have gained money from this. They have got individual persons, but they can, if they do raise the funds for Mbappe, you know, they can still get potential replacements out there, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, you know. He's one of the highest prospects in world football, and I said with that money you can get a starting 11. Maybe you can get even 8 players. You know, Everton have bloody got 7 players in and they've only spent over £100 million, and Real Madrid are basically willing to spend £160 million. That includes add-ons with the performances and the appearances, plus a 6-year contract has been offered as well. And it'll be a payment structure depending if he goes, how he performs at whatever team he goes to. You know, it might get up, it might be up front. So there we go. And I don't know what the salary is. Is that estimated around £270,000 a week if he goes to Real Madrid? I'm not quite sure, but they do need to offload Bale. They basically need to offload Bale if he's definitely going to be guaranteed first team football. Ronaldo is one of the best players in the world. Ronaldo's one of the best players in the world, you know. But he's delivered the goods. He was fantastic at Manchester United, but he will dither. He will dither in a couple of years' time, will Cristiano Ronaldo. But I think Real Madrid now are willing to sell Bale so they can capture Mbappe on the board. But if the scenery changes and he does end up going to Barcelona, Real Madrid just may then say Bale's currently staying with us. Bale basically does have no intentions of leaving, I don't think. Mourinho's disregarded it, basically. He said it's currently not going to happen, that Bale is not going to leave Real Madrid for what he's achieved there with his sublime, outstanding performances. As much as I'd love Bale at Manchester United, you know, we tried getting before, didn't get him. It's been stemming since the Champions League final when if he was going to get dismissed, Bale, he was going to potentially make a move to the Premier League. He's also Premier League proven as well, is Gareth Bale. But Jose Mourinho's disregarded. He's 100% sure he's no desire to leave. Like he was 100% sure about De Gea not leaving Manchester United, and he's guaranteed that as well. But these deals go through. It's astronomical business, you know. It's going to... Paul Pogba 89 million was a world record fee, but it's going to absolutely beat that. It's going to beat that, you know, in a few years to come if these deals get finalised, and all the other world record fees over the years. And you know, this transfer window is hotting up and it's going absolutely crazy. I think it's all started since Arsenal got Lacazette on the board, and then it's built a platform. More deals have been done. A lot more money's been forked out for certain players out there. And for Mbappe, I said I compared Mbappe. I compared Neymar. Neymar's more highly experienced. He's currently 25 years old. Mbappe's still 18. He's got the experience, but he still needs to gain more of that experience. He isn't exactly at a big, massive club like Neymar is at Barcelona, but Neymar's going for 220 million. Kylian Mbappe's still going for 106 million plus the add-ons as well. That's going to be nearly 200 million pound for an 18-year-old player who's going to be the world's most expensive teenagers if this does happen. Monaco have raised 300 million. They'll raise nearly, what is it? 300, about nearly 500 million if they do offload Kylian Mbappe on the board. These players out there that Monaco can get if he does go. But I just think they're going to stand firm. They've quoted out of Monaco. They've been in talks about extending his contract. I just can't see him selling him. I really can't see Kylian. I know he wants to go. They've been in talks about extending his contract. I think they are reluctant to him, and they've also quite standing firm. They're being ruthless, and they're basically saying Thomas Lemar's not going, Kylian Mbappe is not going, and he may get another year at least at Monaco to express himself more, gain a bit more experience, and continue his performances as he did last season with Monaco. But if he goes to Real Madrid, he goes to Barcelona, you know, he goes to Manchester City, he's experiencing a bigger facility. If he go and he's going and he's French as well, and if he goes to Manchester City, he's going to be coming to experience the Premier League. And how do you think he'll cooperate? You know, he's playing amongst different players. He's playing with Premier League players. He's not playing with like French players. And you could say that about Barcelona and Real Madrid. If he goes to Spain, he's playing amongst world-class players, and he's playing amongst different players as well. So he probably may go to Spain and rip the Spain La Liga apart. He may go to the Premier League, rip the Premier League apart if he joins Manchester City. So I don't know, but his performances for France are absolutely fantastic as well. But yeah, about this scenario, it's currently it's in the Mirror now. The Daily Mirror have reported that Barcelona basically could be emerged in there now. They've come in. I think had they been in him before? It's just recently reported now with the Neymar case. They offload him. They're looking in the region to get the signature of Kylian Mbappe on the board, and I think he may cooperate well if he goes to Barcelona. He's got Messi there, he's got Suarez there, and he's amongst other good players there. He's been amongst other good players at Monaco, but obviously Barcelona are a much bigger club than Monaco. Monaco's capacity is only 18,000 odd supporters. Barcelona's is 100,000 odd supporters. That's a lot bigger margin. Real Madrid's ground 80,000. Bigger margin, and a static stadium. Goes to Manchester City. Not the best stadium, but a bigger stadium than Monaco, and holds a bigger capacity as well. So I think he does want to leave. I think his favourable destination, if he was to leave, would be to go to Real Madrid. But we'll see what happens. Real Madrid will be disappointed if they do miss out on him. They have raised funds. They've lost Morata. They've lost They've lost Morata. They've lost Rodriguez, and they've lost Danilo. So they'll need to look for replacements for Real Madrid. They will really need to look for replacements. I think they have signed a player or two, but I said Ronaldo's going to do in a couple of years' time. They'll need to find replacements for him. Whatever happens with Bale, I don't know. Do not know. This is basically with the Bale situation, depending on what Mbappe does. If Mbappe goes to Barcelona, Bale will definitely not be coming. If Mbappe goes to Real Madrid, I think there may be a chance he'll come to Manchester United. If Mbappe goes to Manchester City, then we probably won't get Bale. So if we were to get Bale in a return and we would benefit from this, I would like him to go to Real Madrid so we can get Gareth Bale on the board. And that's basically just my own personal opinion. But it's a bit insanity judging one player after one season. You wouldn't find basically any youngsters or any teams willing to pay that price for a youngster. It's just because he's outstanding performances last season and then winning Liga 1. These big clubs have put a lot of money out for the player, but Neymar, it's understandable. It's way too much money, but Neymar's got that more experience. He's highly experienced. He's a better player than Mbappe, but I think Barcelona are willing to offload him. They're going to get the funds for this. It's hard to turn down a €220 million bid. You know, it's really, really hard to turn down a €220 million bid. I'm going to be quite serious. And as I did say with the case with Sanchez as well, City, if they do get Mbappe, they've already spent over 200 million. So if City get Mbappe, that's look there. They're willing to plot 143 million in for Mbappe. So that's over £400 million. Plus, if they want to get Sanchez, they think they've got the budget, they think they've got the finances to do this. You're talking over £500 million if they want to get Sanchez as well. He's keen on that reunion with Pep. They've got a fantastic bond together. Is that going to be 600 million? Is that including the agent fees? Is that including the agent fees and the wage of the player as well? So yeah, that's going to be staggering amounts of money. £600 million that City would have spent if they do capture Sanchez and Mbappe. But even if they capture Mbappe, it's still a staggering over £400 million at least that City would have spent if they do get Sanchez. They want Sanchez basically. We know PSG want Sanchez. They want Sanchez. They want Neymar, and that'll be astronomical business as well. So that's how much have PSG spent. I can't remember how much did they spend on Dani Alves. How much did they spend on Dani Alves now? I can't remember how much they spent on Dani Alves, but it's astronomical business if they get this done. It's going to make history in world football. If they get Sanchez, which I don't think they may, not now, the interest's being cooled. So if they got Sanchez, PSG, you know, that'd be easily nearly. Would that be nearly 500 million, including the agent fees and wage, if PSG were to get them two players? I think they've more chance now of getting Neymar on the board now. It's going to be announced in the next couple of days. I think he's adamant that he does want to leave Barcelona after being there for several years with the club. His relation with Messi is fantastic. I believe that Messi or Suarez probably wouldn't want him to leave, but Neymar's made it clear. He's changing his story each day, saying to his friends he's going to PSG because he's got his teammates there who play for Brazil. But there again, he's telling Messi and Suarez he's staying, so we don't know what's really going to happen. But Barcelona will be willing to sell him so they can cash this money in. Maybe cash in for Kylian Mbappe, or maybe get another player or two on the board with that amount of money, depending how much they're willing to pay for Neymar. And whether this could be change of scenery, whether this is all to do with Verratti going to Barcelona, Neymar going to PSG, I do not know. Or could it be, Neymar going, Neymar just going, them not getting Verratti and them then getting Kylian Mbappe on the board? I don't know. There's been different talks each day, but we know Ronaldo's had a say. We know Cavani's had a say. He's welcomed Neymar to come. We know Piqué's had a say on the matter. We won't get Neymar. He currently signed a 5-year contract back in October. We tried getting him. Chelsea been there, but we opted out of the race basically. As much as I'd love him, one of the most prolific, most efficient players in world football, to be quite fair, is Neymar. I do really rather hate him. But we know with the Sanchez case, he's been to a meeting with the director, who has a fantastic relationship with Wenger. He currently employs Wenger, which could have always been a key fact. That would be beneficial for him to go to PSG. I don't know if Sanchez is keen on the move to PSG, but why would we be going to PSG to meet up with the officials and stuff if he was no interest in going? But I think he's adamant that he does want to leave Arsenal. Does Sanchez? He's very, very adamant he wants to leave Arsenal. He wants Champions League football. Arsene Wenger stood firm. He's been ruthless. He's rebuffed everything that's been said. Has no faith in the media. He's disregarded everything the media said, and he's still confident. I think the Arsenal board, I don't know if they're wanting to go. Obviously, the fans will probably want him to stay at the club. He's done well in the 3 years that he's currently been at Arsenal, but Pep Guardiola's basically looking for a reunion with Alexis Sanchez. So PSG, how can they afford, even alone Neymar, considering putting Sanchez in the equation as well? How could they afford that without breaking the financial fair play rules, or even complying for financial fair play? I don't really understand, to be quite honest with you. I really don't understand how they could possibly afford them two players, but they're willing to pay it, then Barcelona can't reject that. So Manchester City may will to pay maybe of the £30-40 million for Sanchez. You'll get him for a reasonable fee. He's coming to an end of his contract. He'd be a player I'd like at Manchester United. He's composed, he's organised, he's a prolific goal scorer. He leads the lines fantastically well, Alexis Sanchez. As much as I'd love him, he's good at drawing forward, good at breaking up the play. And he's very versatile, can play in other numerous positions, and fantastic player. And we need goals at Manchester United, and Sanchez would be the right figure, but he's not going to come to Manchester United. He's either going to stay at Arsenal. He's going to be having talks with Wenger on Monday about what he's going to be doing. Basically, he's left a decision to Arsenal, basically, to let them react. It's going to be announced on Monday what Sanchez is going to be currently doing with his future. I'd love Sanchez, but I don't think he's going to go. So he's either going to go to PSG, he's going to go to Manchester City. We know Bayern Munich have been there, but I don't think Bayern Munich will get him as much as a big club they are. And we know I think a few other teams been there. So either PSG will get him, City will get him, or he'll probably just stay at Arsenal for another sign another deal with Arsenal. That's my personal opinion. That I think is going to happen. And as I said earlier on, with the Emil Forsberg from sorry about that, from Red Bulls, who are a team that have been hard to negotiate with this season. You know, with the is this either now Jose Mourinho showed more intentions on getting Forsberg? It's either now we've ended the pursuit of Perisic, or negotiations are still going on with a player. I still think Perisic is still one of Jose Mourinho's main priority target to get on the board. We know that Jose Mourinho's still his target to get mainly on the board, but it's according to reports now. They've stood firm this summer of this Red Bull team. They've stood firm. They're reluctant to sell Mbappe. I'm not too sure about I forget his name now. Frostenberg or whatever his bleeding name is. They stood firm, and there has been negotiations that Mourinho has been in contact with currently his current representatives about a potential move. Currently as well, subsequently, him and Frostenberg and Lindelof currently share the same agent as well. So they share the same agent. This player has won Swedish Player of the Year before. He's been at Malmo in the past. He's 25 years of age. He's a bit younger than even Perisic. But Mourinho, I think the rumoured fee is willing to plot between a 45 million dealing or a 15 million dealing. That a team know that's basically stood firm in the entirety of this transfer window. Not willing to sell a lot of their players, but is a player that's 9 goals, 19 assists last season. Progressed them to second place and progressed fantastically well into the Champions League. So there has been negotiations going on with Mourinho's contacted the representatives, had discussions to try and basically get a deal over the line, and the agent of Red Bulls basically classified as really stubborn. You know, they're a club that have been hard to negotiate with. You know, Liverpool try to finalise the deal of Naby. They've resisted any offers. They're reluctant to this, and basically saying he's staying with Red Bulls. So we'll see what happens. I think his overall gameplay is fantastic. It's not a main priority for Mourinho, but the way the situation's going with Perisic, you know, they're still holding that £48 million fee out. They're holding that £48 million fee out, and we're not willing to pay that. So people say we should pay that to try and get the deal over the line. Perisic is still forcing the move that he does want to leave Inter Milan. We could still get the deal done on the board. Him and comparing him and Fossenberg is a bit difficult. They're not comparable. I think Perisic has got a bit more of that experience, but I think this player is good. He's versatile. He can play in numerous positions as well. And he's also won honours in his current career as well. And he's 25 years of age is this player. And he's done well in the Bundesliga with Red Bulls. And the Perisic deal could now basically be inflated, you know, because Inter Milan still demanding they want that price tag. We're not willing to pay that, something that Damasio had currently announced. So now more attentions are on this Red Bulls winger, and we do need that creative winner on the left-hand side. So we'll see. But we desperately need that winner. We need that defensive mid guys, as I said. So we know where the problems are lying in this team. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, going back to the situation about Mbappe, Barcelona could be emerged now to get him on the board. They might also get Verratti, who's currently just recently changed agents. I wanted Verratti. Looks like we're basically not going to get him now. Looks like we're not going to get Fabinho now. Don't know about Arsenal pursuing of Thomas Lemar, because Monaco, another team that's been hard to negotiate with. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments and likes below on the video. Tell me what you think and take it easy. I'll see you later. Bye.